Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you. We welcome your calls on The Bright Side, 844-236-6010. 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, longevity business, a health challenge you want help with, 844-236-6010 is our number. And, of course, if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised or recommended on The Bright Side, please head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can purchase longevity products or sign up to join the Brightside Ben team right off the websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can also call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470 for more information. That's 866-735-2470 for more information. If you want to sign up to join the Brightside Ben team, or if you want to purchase products, 866-735-2470 is the phone number for the Brightside Ben team. And also want to remind you to check out our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com, our Truth Retinol 5% gel, and now our Truth Retinol 1% gel, as well as our Truth Biomimetic Mineral Mist, Truth Balm, Truth Transdermal Serum, and our Truth Omega 6 Healing Cream are all available at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, welcome back to The Bright Side. We're talking about detoxification and digestive fluid bile, which is a detox fluid as well as a digestive fluid. It's made in the liver, it's stored in the gallbladder. We eat food, it goes through our stomach, it drops into our intestine from the stomach, and it gets hit with a big old blast of bile from the gallbladder. That bile helps liberate fatty vitamins and essential fatty acids from the food. The bile then circulates through the intestine where it clears out toxins, goes back into the liver, and then back to the gallbladder. There's a big old circle. Call it enterohepatic circulation. Entero means the digestive system, or the intestine, actually. And then hepatic means the liver. Enterohepatic, the intestine and the liver. Enterohepatic circulation is the movement of bile around in this big old circle from the top of from the gallbladder, actually, through the intestine, back to the liver, to the gallbladder, through the intestine, to the liver, back to the gallbladder, through the intestine, into the liver, back to the gallbladder, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When the bile doesn't get dumped out appropriately, some of it's always getting dumped out as it's doing its big old circle. Some of it's getting dumped out through the large intestine. If that doesn't happen, it just keeps accumulating all these toxins, and this is where bile becomes sludgy. It's less able to do its work of digestion, and the big problem is the formation of stones, typically cholesterol stones. Bile is made up of bile salts, bile pigments, and cholesterol, and as this bile becomes sludgier and sludgier and sludgier, cholesterol can kind of build up and form stones inside the gallbladder, and that can be a big problem. You can tell you have a bile problem by the color of your stools. Bile pigments, or bile acids actually, components in the bile, are what give normal stools their brown color. That brown color is the bile. Stools that are pale is potentially a sign that you may not be producing enough bile or bile acids. If they're green, that means the bile hasn't had a chance to act on the food, and it may mean that you're dealing with rapid absorption, a very quick transit time, which means you're not going to be getting the nutrients that you need. If your stools are black or if they're red, that typically means there's some kind of bleeding going on. That's definitely not a good sign. It could be hemorrhoids too. And then if you have yellow stools, that's a sign that you're not absorbing your fats correctly, that you've got some fat malabsorption issues. This is not unusual after you've had a gallbladder removed. After you've had a gallbladder removed, you're at serious risk for fat malabsorption issues. That could be a big problem. We'll talk about that here in a second. So bile can become sludgy and circulation can become impaired when we're eating too many toxins, when we're ingesting too many toxins, when we're eating food toxins, we're on prescription drugs, because bile is responsible for eliminating estrogen. When your bile becomes sludgy or you have deficiencies in bile, this can cause estrogenic health challenges. You may have heard that estrogen can be a problem hormone. It's not so much estrogen that's a problem hormone. It's the breakdown products of estrogen, which can accumulate when your bile isn't moving around as it should. Estrogen breakdown products, or metabolites they're called, estrogen metabolites, breakdown products, are responsible for many cancers, for heart disease possibly, certainly for autoimmunity. We know most patients who have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, as well as autoimmune issues, are women. This implicates a problem with the bile and the estrogen. If you are a female and you're dealing with autoimmune issues or endometriosis and any kind of estrogenic health issues, chances are pretty good that you have a bile problem. Chances are pretty good that you have an issue absorbing fats. I'm always telling people to go back to the fat system if you're dealing with female health issues. Go back to the fat system, and that means fat malabsorption at the level of the intestine, and that also means problems with bile in the gallbladder. If you've had a gallbladder removed, almost guaranteed that's the cause of your estrogenic health issues. If you've had a gallbladder removed and you're dealing with multiple sclerosis or hypothyroidism or Graves' disease or really any autoimmune problem, and you've had a gallbladder removed, you can pretty much rest assured that you've got some kind of issue with your fat absorption or with bile or processing of estrogen. What do? Ultimate enzymes. Make sure you're using bile salt. Ultimate enzymes contain bile salts. Make sure you're using them with every meal. Use apple cider vinegar with every meal. Make sure that you're using supplemental lecithin. These are all ways that you can support the bile system. Remember, if something's wrong with your bile, not only are you going to be at high risk for estrogenic health challenges, but you're also going to be at risk for essential fatty acid deficiencies, and vitamin A deficiencies, and all the fatty vitamin deficiencies, and selenium deficiencies, and zinc deficiencies. All of these can cause their own problems. So if you have any issues with problems with bile, either you're not making enough bile, or you've had a gallbladder removed, fat malabsorption issues of any kind, you're at higher risk for macular degeneration from vitamin A deficiency. You're at higher risk for cancers for vitamin D deficiency. You're at higher risk for osteoporosis from vitamin A and D deficiency, and also wrinkles. You're at higher risk for calcium deposits because of vitamin K deficiencies. You're at higher risk for disturbances at the level of all cells and cell membranes because vitamin E deficiencies can lead to problems, breakdown of the cell membrane. This is without a gallbladder, folks, and we have nearly 1 million of them taken out every year. This is if you've got any problems with even silent gallstones or any stone formation. If you have any bile problem. You see why I'm saying that next to blood, bile is probably the most significant fluid in the body? So if you have poor bile, if you have any issues with poor bile flow, these will. This is going to be made worse by having a gallbladder removed. So between poor bile flow, having a gallbladder removed, you're at high risk for pretty much all chronic degenerative diseases. And nearly 1 million gallbladders are taken out every year. That's an unbelievable statistic to me. That's as of 2006, probably more today. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back after this. are back on the bright side. Pharmacist Ben here. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have lines open for you. 844-236-6010. If you have questions about bile or bile acids, digestive issues you or a loved one may be dealing with, we're here to help. 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. If you have any questions about the longevity products or our Truth treatment products or Truth skin health products, likewise, we want to hear from you. And of course, if you have a success story you'd like to share, 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. We're talking about bile and the gallbladder. Without a gallbladder, you're at higher risk for all kinds of degenerative health challenges, including accelerated aging, wrinkles. Skin problems are notoriously common for people who have had a gallbladder removed. In fact, skin problems are notoriously common for anybody who has a bile problem or a gallbladder problem. Chronic itching, classic sign of a bile issue. Oily skin can be a sign of a bile issue. Same with dry skin. Pretty much any skin health issue should be at least first looked at as a food problem. And when I say food problem, I mean primarily a fat problem. When we have food problems, most of those problems have to do with the fatty system. Body can be compartmentalized into two sections, the fat system and the water system. Nutritional supplements can be compartmentalized into those two categories, water-soluble, fat-soluble. In fact, all of chemistry can be compartmentalized into water-soluble or fat-soluble. Certainly, this distinction plays a major role in biochemistry and the health of the body, and it's pretty much going to be in the fat system because fats are so complex, and fats require so many steps to process, and the fats are builders. The watery nutrients, this is a big-time generalization, but it still is relevant and it still can be used. It's simplification, yes, I know, but still it can be used because there's so much overlap. Fats interact with water, water interact with fats, but it's instructive to make this distinction in terms of our health and our health challenges between the water-soluble system part of the body or the water-soluble nutrients and the fat-soluble nutrients. The fat-soluble nutrients are complex, and there are building and repair nutrients, the essential fatty acids, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, many of the minerals. The water-soluble nutrients, the B complex and vitamin C, those are obviously very, very important, but they're more for energy, for energizing, and they're not as hard for the body to process and deal with. Now, they do get eliminated quickly, and so you got to keep a steady stream of these water-soluble nutrients coming in, the B complex and vitamin C. That's why I tell you to drink or to sip on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine to give yourself a steady stream of the water-soluble nutrients. Your Beyond Tangy Tangerine is the water-soluble nutrients. It has some fatty nutrients in there too, but primarily it's a way of delivering B complex and vitamin C and other water-soluble nutrients, electrolytes, potassium and sodium and chloride, etc. These electrolytes and vitamin C and the B complex have to be restored in the body throughout the day. They're easy to process, though. The fatty nutrients, that's where we run into problems. And I'm trying to think of a chronic degenerative disease that does not have some element of a disturbance in this fatty part of the body or the fat processing part of the body. And I can't think of one. That means all of them, all chronic degenerative diseases are somehow related somewhere to malabsorption or problems processing fats. And then we go and have a gallbladder taken out. What do you think that does? That makes it 100 times worse, 1,000 times worse. And the chances were very good that the problem originated in a disturbance in how the body processes fats or somehow some kind of bile disturbance. And now you take the gallbladder out, you make things worse. So anyway, if you have any kind of, if you're being induced to have a preventive gallbladder surgery, if you're being induced to be one of the millions of people who have a gallbladder removed, and cholecystectomy is what it's called technically. Chole means the gallbladder, or cholecyst means the gallbladder. Cyst means bladder. Chole means bile or gall. Gall is the name for bile, by the way. So the gallbladder is your bile bladder, and bladder is like a bag, a cyst, cholecystectomy. Having the gallbladder taken out is probably, if it's not the most common surgical procedure, it's one of the most common surgical procedures, we'll say. A lot of them. These days they do them laparoscopically. That means they poke a couple make a couple incisions, small incisions in your belly, and then they pull out the gallbladder, which is kind of interesting. Laparoscopic surgery. They used to cut you open Getting cut open and having the gallbladder taken out is not a very, it's not a routine thing. First of all, after you have any surgery, you're going to end up with fibroids, likely adhesions, I should say, not fibroids. You're going to end up with sticky fibers. That's 90% of people who have their belly cut open are going to have adhesions like that, and that can cause all kinds of problems, all kinds of pain issues and further inflammatory issues later on down the road. But according to the October 2016 issue of the Journal of the American College of Surgeons, it's not just adhesions that you got to worry about, it's death. According to this magazine or this medical journal, routine cholecystectomies that are done with open belly, not laparoscopically, are a, quote, substantial cause of, quote, substantial mortality, that's death, and morbidity, that's woundedness, and that's just regular old gallbladder surgery. Keep your gallbladder. Don't let it, don't have it taken out unless you have an emergency. Don't let them take it out preventatively. If you have silent gallstones, they're not causing pain, work with your digestive system. Eliminate problem foods. Use your ultimate enzymes. Get on lecithin supplements. Having a gallbladder removed preventatively is actually, according to the New England Journal of Medicine, more dangerous than an emergency gallbladder. According to the New England Journal of Medicine, if you have your gallbladder removed routinely, that's a more dangerous procedure than an emergency procedure. And they are no fans of alternative or nutritional medicine. They recommend that you leave silent gallstones alone. If you have gallstones that aren't causing immediate pain, use the elimination diet. Change your diet. Avoid problem foods. According to Dr. Jonathan Wright, who I haven't seen his stuff around lately, but he used to write all kinds of good stuff, has a bunch of good books about the digestive system, about his really cool book called Why Stomach Acid is Good for You. Great book. He says that the leading cause of gallstones is food allergies. He said 999 people out of 1,000 who have gallbladder surgery don't eat it. 99.9% of gallbladder surgeries are preventable simply by staying away from food allergens. That's according to Dr. Jonathan Wright, and me too. According to Dr. James Brenneman, who was one of the first guys to recognize the relationship between toxicity in the digestive system and gallbladder problems, he was the chairman of the Food Allergy Committee of the American College of Allergists. He says some of the most common offending foods are eggs, pork, onions, chicken, turkey, milk, oranges, corn, beans, and grains of all kinds. How many of us, that makes up the bulk of most of our diets, at least the eggs and the turkey and the milk and the chicken and the corn. All of us are eating this, and the grains. Of course we're going to have bile problems. Of course we're going to have digestive problems. It's not possible. I know it sounds like every time somebody says they have a health problem, I'm talking about the digestive system, but that's where it all begins, and it's not possible no matter how well you think you're eating. No matter how well you think you're eating, it's not possible to eat the way the human body wants to eat, which is why calorie restriction and eating as little food as possible is such a great health strategy. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back with you and your phone calls right after this. Bright side, and we do have lines open, 844-236-6010. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central, 24/7 on the archive pages at benfuchsarchives.com, also brightsideben.com. And you can check brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com for news stories and blog posts. Thank you to Peter in the UK for setting up benfuchsarchives.com. Thank you very much, Peter. That's a great website. And thank you to Robert Lundgren for setting up pharmacistben.com, another great website. And all the longevity products are up there as well. You can also purchase longevity products by calling 866-735-2470. You can purchase our Truth Treatment products by going to truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, we've got lines open, 844-236-6010, and we will get your calls here in just a moment. A couple of things I want to read here, and then we'll get your phone calls. This is from where is this from here? Joslin Diabetes Center, the section on integrative physiology and metabolism. Gut microbes may contribute to depression and anxiety in obesity, says a new paper in the journal Molecular Psychiatry. People with type 2 diabetes and obesity suffer from depression and anxiety, but even more so than regular folks. Researchers at Joslin Diabetes Center have now demonstrated a surprising contributor to these negative feelings, and that is the bacteria in the gut microbiome. That is the good bacteria or the bad bacteria that help us digest our food, the good bacteria that help fight bad bacteria, I should say, that help us digest our food, that help us make vitamins, that process cholesterol and process hormones like estrogen and detoxify our body and communicate to our immune system, and et cetera, et cetera. They're so darn important. Now we know they're important for the brain too. Do you know these little critters, the good bacteria or the bad bacteria that live in the intestine, will actually tell the brain what kind of food to eat? They'll tell the brain what kind of feelings to feel. They'll cause depression. They'll cause anxiety. They'll cause blood sugar problems. Yesterday I was talking about how the bile system is the link between the first point of the triangle of disease, or a link between the first point on the triangle of disease, the digestive system, and the second point, the blood sugar system. Well, guess what? Another point is the microbiome, the gut bacteria. These things are unspeakably important. And if you think you're just going to take care of the problem by getting on probiotics, even a good one like the Nightly Essence, think again. You've got to do more. You've got to make sure that you're not doing the problem foods, which throw off gut bacteria. You've got to make sure you're making enough bile, which can throw off gut bacteria. You have to make sure that you're staying away from antibiotics, prescription-wise or other. And when I say other, I mean water and fish and meat. There's all kinds of ways we ingest antibiotics unintentionally. Fluoride and chlorine can do it. Excuse me. Chlorine, especially, it's that's why it's in the water, is to kill things. So of course it's going to kill. Bacteria in the gut. I'm not saying we don't need to detoxify or chlorinate our water, but listen, how is it possible for us not to be suffering from the impact of dysbiosis, messed up gut bacteria, when we've been chlorinating our water for 150 years or 40 years, however long it's been? Just that alone has got to have a huge impact on our gut microbiome. Not to mention the pesticides that are in the foods that we eat, and the pesticides that are all over, that are added to, that are used in agriculture, that end up in the water supply. There's so many ways we do things that kill these gut bacteria, and we don't even think about it. And I know that our modern 21st century lifestyle mandates that we have to have that certain amount of antimicrobials, I guess, especially with all the high concentration of human beings in cities, etc. But we got to rethink what we're doing here. There's no way to not be sick. There's no way to not have a chronic degenerative disease if you're ingesting antimicrobials. All right, from Stanford University School of Medicine, scientists use dietary seaweed to manipulate gut bacteria in mice. How do you like that? Seaweed will actually improve the microbiome. Eating the right kind of seaweed, fucoidan. Now you can use your Fucoid Z to support the gut microbiome. I've always recommended the Fucoid Z for leaky gut syndrome, the Fucoid Z for any digestive problems. Talk about multifunctional. Fucoid Z is ridiculously important. The fucoidan in Fucoid Z stimulates the production of connective tissue. That's why it's important for leaky gut syndrome, but it also makes it important for wrinkles and for heart disease and for blood vessel issues. And now we know that by using the right kind of seaweed, particularly colored seaweed like red algae and brown algae, you can improve the microbiome. You can improve the health of the bacteria in the intestine. All right. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let us go to John in Ohio. Get to John here. Good morning, John. What's up? Hello. Welcome to the bright side.
I've been going through pancreatitis.
Not good. How's that?
Nope.
That sounds awful. What are you doing? Yeah, it's got to be awful. Awful pain. Pancreas is such an underappreciated structure, maybe the most, arguably, well, let's just say one of the most important organs in the body. All the organs are important, but the pancreas just gets no love. pancreas does so much work, not just for the digestive system, but for the entire biochemical milieu of the body. It makes the enzymes. It's your enzyme factory, and the body runs on enzymes. Yes, it makes digestive enzymes, but it makes all kinds of enzymes. And we don't even know we have a pancreas until we suffer from pancreatitis, and it is just it's such a miserable, miserable experience. First thing you want to do is stop eating. I hope you're doing that. Are you fasting?
Well, I've been, I've had a couple of bowls of soup in the last week.
You probably do, yeah. You just don't feel like eating, right? I don't even. I mean, yeah. Just do what you do. Do you notice the pain when you don't eat?
Well, it lasted probably 3 or 4 days, and then usually the pain has gone away, and I've been fine.
This time it didn't.
But no, I mean,
How long have you been dealing? How long you been dealing with this?
Probably 6 months. It's happened 3 or 4 times.
I am so sorry, man. That is just so terrible. All right, so 6 months ago, you got your first pancreatitis attack?
Yes.
Okay, and you just came out of the blue?
Yes.
You never had any problems like that before?
No.
Okay. How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 63.
Okay. So you had to have some other problems, because pancreatitis doesn't just happen in a vacuum. So something else. Bowel movement problems, gas, bloating, brain fog, joint problems, high blood pressure, anything.
No.
Are you on medicine?
No.
Not on
Nothing.
any, never been on any medication?
No.
Okay. So you got to do some work then, because you should have seen
I've
something.
never drank alcohol my whole life.
Okay, well, you should have noticed something, because these things don't just spontaneously happen. That tells me that stuff is going under the radar that you're not noticing. So we got to start to get some data from the body. You can't do anything without data. Make sense?
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so we got to get some data so we can figure out what's happening in your body. And the first thing you want to do, and if you've heard me talk before, you know what I'm going to say. First thing you want to do is you want to do a food diary and write things down. Now, your case is a little bit different because you've got some issues going on that we got to resolve right away. And you obviously you've already been fasting. You're still in pain. So hang on, and we'll finish this up when we come back. Okay? Don't go away, John. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We got lots of lines open for you, and we'll be back after this. Back on the bright side, I'm Pharmacist Ben, 844-236-6010, and we got lots of lines open for you. We're talking to John about pancreatitis. You there, John?
Yes.
All right, so you had a couple of issues with pancreatitis that went away, and then now you've had one, and it hasn't gone away for a few days, right? How long has it been? A week, Did you say?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, that's not unusual. Basically, you've reached a critical mass, and now you've gone into a chronic condition. Sometimes it can last a while, depending on how severe it is. The pain, you know what? It's like having a wound, and it has to heal, and you're doing all the right things for the pain. Have you noticed? There's not like a pain reliever you can take for that. Have you noticed that? That there were certain foods that you ate before that triggered the gallbladder, the pancreatic attack?
No.
Okay, so
I had acid reflux probably a year ago.
Just one time? Just one time?
No, it was kind of constant.
Okay, and then it went away?
Yes, I cut out all carbohydrate. You know, I quit eating potato chips, cut out all sugar.
I see. And then it went away.
Yes.
Okay, you're probably missing something then. Okay?
Okay.
So, and that's what's causing the pancreas problem. Usually it's going to be something to do with fats, and that's the big problem once you have pancreatitis is you're not going to absorb your fatty nutrients. We've been talking about how without the gallbladder you're not going to absorb fatty nutrients, but without a fully functioning pancreas, that's also going to be a problem because the pancreas there's a very important relationship between bile and the pancreas. Let's leave it at that. Without the pancreas working, bile isn't going to work. They work together. So you got a problem that you're going to need to resolve. You're doing all the right things for now. Stay with the liquids and stay with the nutrient-dense soups kind of thing. And only, your body's not going to really let you eat. So you're going to have to that's not going to be too much of an issue. But over time, as it gets better, you may find yourself, eating regularly again. Pay very close attention to how you feel after you eat certain foods. Use digestive enzymes with all your meals. I'm giving you this for as you start to eat again, because you're not going to want to eat for a little bit. The pain itself is going to have to heal. There's no medicine to get rid of the pain. There's no nutrient that will get rid of the pain. It's going to have to heal, and you're doing all the right things. But when you start eating again, you want to minimize this thing happening again. All right? So what you want to do is use digestive enzymes with all your meals and apple cider vinegar with all your meals. I would go get something called pancreatin, which is it's already in your ultimate enzymes, but I would get extra pancreatin, which is pancreatic enzymes. Okay? You may want to consider doing some baking soda, like a couple hours after you eat. You don't want to do it with your meals, but you want to do it after, maybe an hour and a half after your meals. Get online and look up Dr. Mark Sircus. That's S as in Sam, IRCUS. He's got a lot of good information about baking soda, sodium bicarbonate. That's one of the things the pancreas does, by the way. It makes sodium bicarbonate. And when you eat food, it drops from your stomach into your intestine. It gets hit with this sodium bicarbonate and bile, as well as other digestive enzymes. If your pancreas is not working correctly, that's not going to happen. So you want to make sure that you're taking extra vitamin A. I shouldn't say extra, but supplemental vitamin A, supplemental vitamin E. Get lots of sun if you can, or a sun lamp. Omega fatty acids, omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, like your ultimate EFAs, selenium. Everything we talked about with bile deficiency in terms of nutrient deficiencies, you're going to be dealing with as well. And at the age of 63, that's not a good thing, because these are your building and growth and repair and youth nutrients. So you're going to be missing those. Make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, there's more here. A couple more things, okay? Probiotics are really important. Extremely important. Make sure if you can drink distilled water, drink distilled water. Make sure you're not doing antibiotics unless absolutely necessary. Staying away from antibiotics in food if you can. And then, of course, using your nightly...
Antibiotics in food, what do you... Like,
there's antibiotics in fish, there's antibiotics in meat, but you can buy antibiotic-free meat. You can buy antibiotic-free dairy. So stay away from antibiotics. Anything that messes up the gut is going to cause problems upstream at the level of the pancreas.
Okay.
So make sure you're using a good probiotic supplement, and like the Nightly Essence, and then also supporting the health of the intestine. This is where you're going to be focusing. You see, we're focusing here on the digestive tract. Fiber with all of your, or I should say fiber every day, and then vegetable juices. Get a Vitamix. If you're 63, I'd say pretty much for the rest of your life, you're going to be wanting to liquefy your foods as much as possible, and you're going to be wanting to do as much nutrient-dense liquids, and veggie juices and soups are incredibly nutrient-dense. One of the best investments you can get in your health is going to be a Vitamix. It'll cost you $500. Good. Use it. Make soups, make juices, vegetable juices with it. When I say juices, I mean you keep the fiber. It's going to be your best friend, that Vitamix. The pancreas, because you're going to be compromised at the level of digesting your food. Fiber is super important, really important, and in fact, fermented vegetables are a great source of not just fiber, but they're also going to get you. They're also going to be a good source of probiotics or good bacteria, and they're also going to get you nitrogen, which is very important for the gut. This is the area you're going to focus on. I'm sorry this happened. I don't know how it could have happened though without you doing something. It's very unusual. It usually only happens to people who are really got lousy diets, or had some gallbladder surgery or other surgical procedures, or really sick, or alcoholics, of course, too, are notorious for having pancreatitis. But I know I've seen people with it, and it's just an absolutely miserable experience.
Oh, but the only relief I get is a hot bath. But now it's not at my pancreatitis. It's hurting. It's my lower back and side. I haven't slept since.
Oh man, I'm telling you,
I can't lay down and just.
John, I'm so sorry, man. I mean, that's when the body falls apart. There are just so many different ways things can happen, and it's just the most heartbreaking thing. I hope I helped you, man. I mean, any other questions you have? I know it's got to be terrible.
Yes. What is there? Where do I go to get all of the products you're talking about? So that I'm
which ones?
That stuff and, all of them that you just named.
Longevity, most of them are longevity, but a lot of them are just regular health food store stuff. The pancreatic enzymes, pancreas, you can get that at a health food store. Apple cider vinegar, health food store. Use the Nightly Essence probiotics. I would use the Nightly Essence probiotics. Also, the Ultimate Enzyme. I see. You don't know the longevity products. Go to either brightsideben.com or criticalhealthnews.com. Actually, you know what? Why don't you call this number, 866-735-2470. Tell them everything I just told you, and they just help you out personally. That way you can do it. If you don't know the longevity products, it'll be easier to do it that way. Okay. All right. And don't forget the baking soda, of course. Baking soda, that's easy.
Okay. How long should I do the fasting?
When you feel like eating, eat again. Your body will tell you. If you don't feel like eating, that's your body talking to you. When you feel like eating again, but pay very, very close attention to the symptoms. It's going to be something that you ate that caused the problems. And as I say, you may be into the chronic pancreatitis stage at this point. I hope not. In any case, you can definitely get better by doing all the things we talked about.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you, that is just a terrible, terrible thing. And folks, you don't want that to happen to you. You don't want to have a gallbladder attack or a pancreatic attack. You don't want to have something happen to your colon where you were feeling like you were feeling okay, but every once in a while your belly hurt, or every once in a while you got a pancreatic attack, or every once in a while you had some kind of gallbladder problem, and then you just ignored it. You don't want to be that person. If you feel like anything is starting to break down in the body, take corrective measures immediately, especially if you're young. Once you're older, it's so much more difficult. Not that it can't be done, but it's just so much more difficult. But if you're in your 30s or 40s, you're starting to experience stuff, please do not take your body for granted. Number one, eliminate problem foods. Number two, support the health of the digestive system every single way you know how. Number three, stabilize your blood sugar. Number four, relax your body. Relax your muscles. Make sure that you're practicing your slow, deep breathing, your SDR breathing, which is one of the fastest ways to relax the body and relax the muscles. And number six, I think I said six, get yourself on a nutritional supplement program. It's so darn important. Get yourself on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack. Use your Ultimate Enzymes with all your meals, your Nightly Essence with all your meals. It is life-changing. Call 866-735-2470 for more information. 866-735-2470. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now. Echoes of my mind.